integrations. Now let's talk about who's made the move. We're happy about Farbest Brands. Farbest Brands is a GSI company, customer, partner, manufacturer of high quality, innovative food and beverage and nutrition ingredients. We've worked with this company for quite some time. They were a JD Edwards customer. They were running software way behind on their updates a number of releases back. They had even stopped their Oracle support because they just didn't see it being cost effective. You know, companies have gone through this model, and I would say if your company is off Oracle support today, then you really should be investigating future options with JD Edwards as well as future options with NetSuite. The first trigger point to me with a JD Edwards customer around needing to make this serious evaluation is if they're off support or they're using a third-party support company for JD Edwards as opposed to their Oracle support. But let's talk about the success with Farbest Brands. The thing that I'm excited about in talking with their team is that they love the ability to adapt transactional forms so that the users are able to see the data they need, when they need it, and how they need it. And the users are loving the experience. That's what we're finding with this customer. The integration they've got to Salesforce has been improved way beyond what they had experienced with JD Edwards. Again, this success story is really about the access to information, the rapid process that they're able to go through now to close their books, to do a number of things to create efficiencies inside their business. So they're pretty excited about making this transition. Another company is a global fitness brand that build a healthy business. They were a JD Edwards customer for many, many years, but looked at some change in the industry, recognized they needed to move from just completely change their business model. And with that change in the business model, also came an opportunity to reevaluate their ERP solution. They went in, they decided to replace JD Edwards. What were some of those key themes for them? Well, they were looking for a single source of truth, a place where they could have ERP and CRM data all inside one solution. And for them, that's NetSuite. It eliminated the need to move a lot of data around and gave them a single source of truth. They also were a company saying, hey, it's time we adopt the cloud. And for this customer, a SaaS solution was the right way to accomplish that. And then finally, the flexibility of the solution has been amazing. Not only does it address their integrations that they have, because they do have some other processes that need to be brought in alignment with ERP, but it helps them tailor the solution to be exactly what they need it to be for their future. Moving on from there, there's a multinational manufacturing business that adopts a two-tier ERP strategy. This is what I referred to earlier, where this company, based here in the United States, has a number of international entities. Rather than deploying JD Edwards at each of those international entities, they have looked to a two-tier ERP solution approach, where they deploy NetSuite to a number of these international operations, and then simply connect that data up to JD Edwards so they can pass the data into JD Edwards at a corporate level as it's needed. Provides incredible flexibility for them. They can deploy these remote locations much faster at a much lower price point. It gives them a solution that can grow, that's sustainable for them, that lets them deploy, come in and out of countries very rapidly. Provides them a ability to expand. So as organizations that they've deployed internationally grow, it lets them pay over time for that growth, rather than make a big investment in 100 or 50 users at one point, when initially all they really need is 10 or 20 or 4 or 5, right? Start small and grow forward and pay for it as you grow, rather than pay for everything up front. Obviously, automation was a driver for all of this. It really helps this company, still who runs JD Edwards corporately, connect to all of these international operations and manage an international business much quicker, much easier. We've got a manufacturer of well-known cold remedies. As a matter of fact, some of you are probably taking that in this season right now, recognizing colds are going across the nation pretty rapidly right now. I think even some of our guests today from GSI are suffering with that. But this company, again, a JD Edwards customer running outdated software, really stepped back and said, hey, rather than simply looking at upgrading, because that's one of our options, let's evaluate some other solutions. NetSuite jumped to the top of that solution process. It provided a low-cost architecture, a single enterprise set of data for them, and really helped them manage both their merger and acquisition activity, as well as manage internal processes much more efficiently. You can see some of the solutions that they came out of with this transition, reducing software licensing costs. You'll see an example of that in our next section. Eliminating a lot of the in-house servers. Hey, not only did it eliminate it, they're gone. Right? And with that, some of the support for those servers now is not a requirement of their IT department. Instead, IT can help enable new solutions for the business rather than keeping servers up and running. You can see from here a lot of benefits, a lot of advantage to their business, more rapidly closing their books and continuing to move forward with efficiencies throughout the business. Another example is a landscaping organization that improves with attractive financial processes. Again, we have that JD Edwards customer running the system for a long time. They had a hodgepodge of other systems in place or surrounding JD Edwards. And what they decided to do is, instead of simply upgrading to the next release, let's take a close look. Let's look at what NetSuite could offer us from an ERP perspective. And again, you see a variety of solutions. These are consistent themes. And I think we're going to summarize this theme section here pretty quickly. As a matter of fact, we do it right here. The key drivers. This is what we find when you sort of take those 4 or 5 customer examples that we provided. You're going to see a number of things that bubble to the top that all of the companies seem to be taking advantage of. One is getting out of the data center business. We're not going to have an investment, a CapEx investment in these servers to run our ERP, our CRM, our e-commerce architecture. We're going to rely on NetSuite for that. Concurrency with JD Edwards does require upgrades. You're not concurrent unless you're at a minimum applying a tools release once a year, and then probably an applications release, excuse me, pardon me, every few years. Companies want to get out of the software development business and really look to the ERP vendor to provide them great functionality. You're going to see an example in a moment of how we've sort of paired that up with a traditional manufacturer and looking at functionality within NetSuite. So I think you'll get a good feel for that. Companies that are looking to lower their TCO, right, and spend the scarce resources that companies are finding now with this economy and put those in more high value areas. Third-party capability around e-commerce is completely embedded within NetSuite, completely available to you. And then again, that one source of truth seems to rise up again and again in customers, helping them have CRM, ERP, e-commerce data all available within a single platform.